Greetings, gentlemen and ladies. I'm the old school game snob, and in today's video we're taking a look at a hybrid Nova slash Frozen Orb Sorceress. This girl is pure kill power. She really can't be stopped by anything. She's got cold, she's got lightning if something, and she's strong in both. She's very strong in both. So Frozen Orb is actually really nice high damage, right around 1,000 damage. We're going to play a little bit first, and I'll show you how she functions, and then I'll show you how she's put together. But the nice thing, as of patch 2.4 of course, is that there's no cooldown on Frozen Orb. So you basically can time Frozen Orb and Nova all day long, and these two things together, man, you're just pumping out so much damage. It's crazy how much damage you pump out with this girl. And not only is she pumping out damage, she's pumping out AoE damage. Everything's getting hit, and if it's resistant to cold, oh well. If it's resistant to lightning, oh well. We got a lot of damage to go around in both elements. And the really other nice thing about her is that since her damage is sort of strong enough to invoke monster stun effect, a lot of the time these monsters are in hit recovery, which means that Emilio, or your mercenary of choice, I've got Emilio here. Emilio tends to survive a lot of situations where he otherwise usually dies, like Bale's Council, for example. I have a hard time often keeping Emilio alive there, and with this sorceress and her spammy Nova, yeah, he just doesn't take too much damage. He's great there because he's got his insight pole arm, which helps to keep her mana up. She has got a little bit of energy shield even, so she's got a little bit of defensiveness. Even though she's not as defensive as some other characters I've certainly put together, a Mortal Sorceress, she's not geared around a very defensive tanky build, but she's decently tanky. She does a good job at, well, basically not a lot of stuff can do damage to her. And not a lot of stuff does damage because she's just dealing out so much damage, and everything's in hit recovery, so she's got to worry about magic from a distance, or you know, maybe arrows or something like that. But otherwise, yeah, it's just like absolutely dish it out, right? Dish it out, and you don't have to take it. So let's see here. Let's go take out. I mean, she can, and that's the like lightning. A very strong lightning attack plus a very strong cold attack means that there's really no area that she can't not only handle, but like plow through, like absolutely plow through. A lot of builds have this problem where they, if you kind of split their elemental damage, they can do every area, but they do it at a slower pace. That is just really not the case with the sorceress here, the Nova Frozen Orb Sorceress. She just does everywhere fast. That's what she does. Yeah, just having fun killing monsters. How you guys doing? I'm back. I'm going to do some more Diablo videos. We're going to go through a bunch of builds here. We're going to start with Sorceress. We're going to do a bunch of Sorceress builds. Yeah, like I say, not totally tanky, but as long as she doesn't get the jump on her, she's usually able to crowd control really well with just how fast that Nova is. Now, this was the only area where I had trouble last time too, was these Venom Lords. That's alright. Okay, let's take a quick look at this build, and I'll show you kind of how it's done. There are some room for personal preferences, of course. Basically, into Frozen Orb, we have 20 hard points. Into Cold, we have 20 hard points. Into Frozen Orb, we have just one into Cold Mastery, and yeah, one into Frozen Armor. Everything else is just to get the Frozen Orb. 20 points is all we need. 940 to 982 Frozen Orb damage with her gear. That's enough. That's plenty enough. In the lightning skill tree, we have maxed out static field, we have maxed out Nova, we have maxed out lightning mastery, and we've also dumped in almost every other available point to telekinesis. Now I'll talk about that in just a sec. Just over on the fire tree, we have 1 point into warmth, just some additional mana recovery, and that is because Nova burns through mana. It really burns through mana quickly, and that's why a lot of the gear I've got here is focused around making sure she has enough mana to maintain that. Now there was some extra points kicking around, and I don't really need a lot more cold mastery. Minus almost 100 resistance is pretty good for entirely breaking the immunities of most monsters. So into the lightning skill tree I went to add a little bit of defensiveness just by hardening her energy shield. Using some telekinesis now. Her natural 1-point energy shield is 71. Absorb, that's pretty good. That's enough to help her survive a bit. Like I say, she's not designed to be a tanky build. She's not designed to take it so much as she's designed to dish it out. Strong defense by proxy of strong offense. So we want telekinesis to make that energy shield harder, and basically whatever extra points you have can go in there. If you wanted to make that even harder still, you could you know, maybe take 1 or 2 off the top in any of your damage skills. It would be okay, but I think it's pretty good where it's at. For stats, I've just put enough into strength to wear her gear. As for vitality and energy, you know, kind of use your preference. Having a bit of health is good because some of the damage does get through her energy shield, and she likes to have a little bit of health. You know, a decent amount of health, I guess I should say. Also having a decent amount of mana is good. So I've kind of balanced between vitality and energy. This might not be optimal, but I didn't really put too much thought into that. It works pretty well though, as you'll see. For her weapon, she's got a couple of choices. One is Death's Fathom, and that is because you get plus cold, 35% cold damage. That's great. For her helm, she's got a couple of options as well. The Nightwing's Veil, of course, gives plus 20, up to plus 20 cold skill damage. I don't know if that's a perfect roll or not, because this is, of course, hero edited gear. For example, for this video, it is basically the best case example of these items. The other option in her helm and weapon spot, if you prefer to have more lightning damage, which you might, if you tend to favor more Nova instead of more Orb, you could switch up for Ishuta's Temper, which gives you lightning skill damage, and Griffin's Eye, which also gives you lightning skill damage. So either you want to get more lightning, you want to get more cold, or maybe you want one of each. I don't know, it's kind of up to you. Ormus Robes, because we get a bonus to cold and also to lightning damage. Now this is also a bugged hero edited Ormus's robe, so don't pay any attention to that plus 3 frozen orb. Not actually possible, doesn't really matter, we don't need that. What we're looking for here is cold skill damage and lightning skill damage. That's what we're looking for out of Ormus robes. We got Maro's Kaleidoscope here, just for that plus 2 to all skills, some resistances. Telrasha's Amulet would also be good. Plus 2 to skills, you know, just getting more damage, more everything, more skills up is good. We got a Spirit Monarch, again, more skills, faster cast. Our ideal cast rate here is 105%, and that puts us into the second to best breakpoint for faster cast. And you do want faster cast because you really want to spam that Nova out. And with the gear I've got right now, that's exactly where I'm at. There's a couple of other ways to get at this, right? If you want to prefer Ishuta's Temper, your faster cast will go up even more still, and you could maybe swap out the gloves if you want something else. I like Frostburn because it increases maximum mana, and I'm using Energy Shield. I have a decent Energy Shield. I also want to keep my mana up because, like I say, Nova really burns through it. I also want to keep my mana up for taking damage, absorbing damage, so Frostburn. We've also got Arachnid Mesh, just again faster cast and also plus 1 to all skills, great. I also have a Bahamut's, not sure, it's Bahamut's Ring of the Apprentice for the faster cast, basically to get that break point in this particular setup. If you're using Griffins, of course, that wouldn't be an issue because you would already have the faster cast. I've also got a Stone of Jordan, so you might do 2 Stones of Jordan, or you might do this Bahamut's Ring of the Apprentice for the faster cast and mana, both good things. The boots are, I don't really even know what the boots are good for. I have got Alder's Advance on, just because of the nice faster run walk, 50 to life, that's not too bad, 50 to fire resist, etc. You know, there's lots of good boots you could put, like battle boots or something like that. And that's about it. That's about it for her gear. For charms, all I've got is some extra charms here to get her resistances up above 75 up to their maximum point, and I've got some life and mana charms here. I didn't really fill out her charm slots because charms are one of those things that takes quite a long time to gather up, and I just wanted to kind of use the gear in this guide. Again, this is you know, not the hardest to acquire gear. It is decently hard to acquire, but there's certainly harder things to acquire. So in terms of how hard it is to acquire, you know, all of these items, it's upper tier, certainly, but not insanely difficult. So There we go. Let's go and do something else. Let's go take out Bale and his minions. And again, I mean, the Worldstone Keep, another level 85 area that she excels at. There can be all sorts of different immunities in here, but because she has those dual elements and because she clears everything so fast, she can farm this level. I mean, this is a fun level 85 area to farm, as long as you don't run into gloams. And if you do, what you need to do is you just need to get some Wisp Projectors and Thunder God's Vigor and swap around for some Lightning Absorb so that those gloams don't kill you. Basically, they can heal you, is what happens when you start getting some absorbs into place. I have more videos that talk about that, so you guys can take a look at how to protect yourself from gloams if you'd like to know. But yeah, I like farming the Worldstone Keep the entire world. I mean, it's level 85 area, so anything good can drop. And yeah. So alright, let's take out this stuff here. And like I say, gonna protect Emilio here as best as I can. We kind of got into the middle of things. Bunch of stuff all around, that's fine. But yeah, like I was saying, because everything's in hit recovery, you know, Emilio tends to be able to survive encounters that he would otherwise kind of struggle with, especially since he doesn't have something like Reaper's Toll or oh, I forget now. So, he doesn't have as much life leech as he could possibly have. By the way, I've got Treachery on Dariel's and Insight on Emilio there. And like I said, that Insight is just very good because Nova is so very mana intensive. With how fast it casts, it's a fairly expensive spell. Yeah, like I say, we also want to keep some up for our energy shield. So, but yep, super fast clear speeds. Bale's minions are just not a problem. You can see I'm kind of not even optimizing my cast here, but you know, you can really optimize, right? If you get your timing down to just have Frozen Orb and Lightnings out at basically, you know, perfect sequential maximum damage output type thing. Alright, what's next? The Council. Council's where Emilio usually dies, but I don't think that'll be a problem with this build. Just because, like I say, so much damage output, so much hit recovery. Yeah, there we go. Emilio, except for those Hydras, which can't be killed. Because they're magic. That's fine. That's fine. Alright, what's next? Oh yes, the Venom Lords. And yeah, my timing is not as good as it could be with my Frozen Orb and Nova, but the more you do it, the more you get the timing, right? So you just get all the damage out as fast as you possibly can. Oh, nope. There we go. There's the teleport button. It's been a while, guys. I'm kind of fumbling my keys here. I'm a little out of practice. That's alright. That's alright. This girl's so strong. She does, she picks up the slack where my fumbly keys are kind of rusty. Oh, yeah. And, I mean, that extra long static field doesn't hurt either, right? That's just a nice synergy for her Nova damage. But that extra long static field, I mean, it just doesn't hurt for taking down the bosses all the way from here. Static field bails down, right? Down to his maximum possible anyway. So we kind of time it out, and she destroys Bale. Just absolutely destroys everything, right? It's like, oh no, which is the real Bale? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter because Nova hits everything. Frozen Orb hits everything. Oh yeah, and that's it. Alright, let's do some cows. So for some variation, I'm swapping over to the Griffin's Eye and Shuta's Temper. I actually think that's going to be even more punishing considering just how big these cows like to herd up together and just how good Nova is against cows. Oh, I love Nova against cows. It's so good. Also helps to have everything slowed down thanks to Frozen Orb, right? Get that nice freezing effect on everything so you get more time. Just spam out those Novas like, oh, so good. It's so good. So good, so fun. Oh, I think I missed this game. It's been a while. It's been a while. I've been taking a break, working on a million other things. But, yeah. Oh, it's fun to play this girl. Fun to play this Nova Nova Orb Source. Now, I believe Griffin's Eye is one of the more difficult items to find compared to Nightwing Veil. I'm not sure which is harder. I'm not too sure. But the Griffin's version might be a little harder to acquire than the Nightwing's Veil version. I'd have to look up the drop stats on that. But yeah. You know what we should do? We should do a run on Neelythok. Neelythok, show you how she does on Neelythok. There you go. That's good enough. That's enough dead cows. You guys get the idea. Good on cows. Fantastic on cows. Alright, let's head down to Neelythok's place. Halls of Pain, was it? Oh man, it's been a few months. I kind of forget some stuff. Whoa, look at all those guys, they're fast. Where was the way? Was it this way? Yeah, it must have been that way. Oh yeah, here we go, okay. And yeah, like I say, the Nova, right? And these guys are cold immune, I believe, but yeah, boom, done. Oh, done. I mean done. right? Gotta love that Nova. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. It's good to be back. I'll see you in the next one.